Hi everyone. So Atlantis, we continue. I want to try to get through this as quickly as we can because I really want to get into the foundation of the United States on the esoteric levels, which is going to be next. And this is going to tie everything in together. I have a very, very strange feeling. So I'm excited to get through this and see where we're going next. So we're learning about the directions and the PowerPoints and the sacred sites and how they reactivate your ancient genetic codes and they awaken your memories. So, like I said, you guys can do this in your mind. So, this is a great place to start if you want to start reconnecting to that which you are. Like I said, when I went to Greece, and Patmos and Turkey, it unlocked so much inside of me that I was not aware of. I always knew that I was like very connected to the Lord. Like, just, he was my best friend, spirit guide, invisible friend since my earliest childhood memories, like majorly anchored from age 3 forward. And when I went to Greece and I went to Patmos, I went to this cave where St. John the Baptist and Jesus were supposedly hiding from the Roman emperor, and they were writing the book of John. And was called the Cave of Miracles. And I didn't know any of this when I got off the boat. I didn't know any of this. I just knew we were going to another island. I didn't know. I had really no clue. So I get off the boat, and as soon as I got off the boat and I looked at the place, I looked at the island and I saw the beach and the water, I instantly felt like I just got home. It was the strangest feeling that came over me. I was like, I have been here before. And I literally, as soon as I got off the boat, I had to go straight into the ocean and anchor my feet in the water. And I literally just stood there for like 30 minutes just connecting and praying, and all these memories of Jesus and Mary and the running and the hiding, and everybody was afraid for their life, and it was crazy town. And I'm having all of these flashbacks of the past, and I'm just thinking, this is just memories of the land and the imprints, and it was crazy. And then I went to Delphi, and the monks literally stopped me when I was walking, when I was at the fountain. It was profound. All these things that happened and all of these memories. And then I got crowned on the boat. I got drug into this contest. I didn't even ask or sign up or nothing. I'm reading a book, my headphones on, listening to Pink Floyd, laying in the sun in my bikini, just doing my own thing, And all of a sudden, these two guys yank up my arms out of my lounge chair. They're like, "You, Miss La Palma, you come." And I'm like, "What?" So I get drug into this contest and ended up winning and got crowned. And they crowned me, and I had another download. And that was terrible because I was a princess and I got sold to a king so it would make our kingdom more powerful. And I was so not happy about this whole situation. And then the whole being queen thing, that was terrible. Because you got to literally say who's going to live and who's going to die. That's no fun. No fun at all. So, yeah, there was a lot of stuff coming into my consciousness I had no idea about. So it was crazy train with the amount of information that was coming into my cells, into my consciousness. And it was like visions and snapshots and pictures and emotions and feelings and charges and fear and love and loyalty and mission. There was such a strong sense of purpose in that lifetime. The purpose was profound. It was like nothing else mattered was than knowing the truth of God. It was, nothing else mattered. It was very interesting the way it felt in that time. And then when I went to the monastery in Patmos before the Cave of Miracles, it's so, you can't put into words how these downloads affect your body and affect your consciousness. It's like a popcorn in it. Once it's popped, there's no one popping it. It's just done. And you cannot forget these visions. Like dreams fade. These things don't fade. It's like they happened yesterday. It's so vivid. And it literally activates your body. Like even just thinking about it, you start to vibrate at a different level. So I'm going through all these crazy things, going through these sacred places that I didn't even know how sacred they were till I got there. Because I'm like, 22 years old and totally clueless. So thank God I was old enough, though, and spiritual already enough to understand what was happening to me. Because it was like profound what was happening to me. And that was when I realized, too, that parts of my family had been with me in that lifetime, because when they went through that monastery, it dropped them to their knees and made them cry. They went into the chapel, and my aunt was praying and just crying. This was a powerful thing that was happening on this island. And that's where the book of Revelation was literally written. So, and it was there in this case, this glass sealed case with all these goblets and plates and silverware that John and Jesus apparently were using and drinking out of. And this Bible, oh my gosh, it was beautiful. All handwritten and painted in colors and calligraphy. Oh, it was just magnificent, this Bible. It was beautiful. And then the monks started singing over my head in this museum. And I didn't know it was real monks. I thought it was music they were playing in the gift store, like museum part thing. I thought, oh, well, I was like, when they started singing, I got hit with the DMT rush, where you get the chills all over your whole body. It was almost like, whew. It was like, oh my God. And it hit me again. And then I was like, I got to buy this music because it'll anchor me to this moment. I wanted to anchor to this moment. And I asked the lady in the store, I says, in the museum, I says, is there any way to purchase this music? And she looked at me and she got the biggest smile on her face. And she goes, no, honey. She goes, because that's live. And she pointed up, and I realized that was the monks in prayer directly over those sacred relics, praising in Latin above us. It was the Gregorian chant. Amazing. And literally when she said that to me, DMT chills just started hitting me again. And she just sat there watching me, just giggling. It was like, obviously, she'd seen this before. So it was kind of funny. But these places are accessible through your imagination. You don't need to physically get on the airplane. You can do this in your own mind. But if you do get drawn to certain places and certain, parts of the world, and you do get an opportunity to go, I would make that the first thing to do on the bucket list. Because, whoa, boy, I cannot even explain to you how these things affect you, and they're transformative, extremely powerful. So, we were beginning on July 13th, 1990. So here we go. Kuthumi, I surround myself with light and love and request that you send through another transmission on our trip to England, Greece, and Egypt. Dearest daughter, in the light, I, Kuthumi, am transmuting this message this evening in the midst of the washing away of negativity. It is significant that this ocean of cleansing is upon you. Interesting. For this marks a day in the heavens where you and many others will soon experience a great decrease in the annoyances that have plagued you for the past several months. This is said to inform you that you are now cloaked with a protective shield never experienced before. Interesting. You are now cloaked with a protective shield. This protection will assure safe passage through the next decade. Wow. This shield is extended to all who are awakened as of this date. It is extended to each soul who seeks the light in the name of the most radiant one. It is the honor and the badge of the command, and you will soon discover that the protection is real, and that it will promote many good tidings of great joy for the children of light. That's amazing. I heard I was sealed, and that demon shot out of the freeway and tried to hit me and broke my windshield, and my windshield smashed, and there was a cross right in my third eye, and it couldn't touch me. It bounced off me like it hit a freaking brick wall. The guy next to me was like, "Whoa, that thing couldn't touch you." And I was like, what was that? You know, that was crazy train. But literally, it was like it hit a wall. This thing was trying to hurt me. It came out of the freeway and literally came up my car and busted my windshield after I was removing negative entities from a client who desperately needed them removed. So, yeah, that was crazy. And he said that was retaliation for the work that we had done. He was like, yeah, that was one of mine. I was like, oh, great. Fun. Okay. So this protection, it's real. It's real. And I think this mark is also called the sealed. You've been sealed. So this protection could not be bestowed upon souls until the Earth's vibrational frequency had registered a certain mark in the heavens. Interesting. As of this date, that mark has been reached. So this is July 13th, 1990. Through the constant dedication of the children of the command, you have wandered for many long fortnights and yearned for peace. We announce to you that you will now come into the increments that you have so desired. The shift in energy levels and protection must be explained, for it relates to the upcoming journey of this group. This frequency and shield will prepare all of the children to be better receivers of the information and messages when they tour the temples and the tombs of the great ones. The rebirth of the new age has truly begun, as of this evening in time. And in this remembering, the sapphire stones of the hierarchy have been positioned in the etheric body structures of the light bodies. Beautiful. Take this information to your hearts, O children of the Nile. Know that this moment is indeed rare, and one which will surpass everything that has preceded it. Walk with liberty and grace, just as you once did, as you danced on the shores of the water and the body that gave this world life. The connection to the present and the past in this moment of time will be your experience in Greece. Ooh. Wow, the connection to the present and the past in this moment time will be your experience in Greece. That's exactly what happened to me. They merged. I was there and I was present at the same moment. This happened to Chris and Cherie Geo too when they went to Egypt. The same thing. And the protection, they were shielded. The protection, the shield, it was on them, or they would not have lived through that trip. Because, let me tell you, darkness was on them like stink on you know what. But they were not. They were okay. because of that protection, and they followed their intuition, and they knew when to go and when to stay. That was because they knew. They had an intuition. They just knew. So this is your shield. So, okay, midpoint of the journey. For you to understand the connection of the present moment of the power to the ancient ones of the great worlds, the Oracle of Delphi will give you the wisdom beyond compare. Oh my God, that's where I went. I went to the Oracle. For the energy vortex of Apollo, I went there too, the Temple of Apollo. For the energy of the vortex of Apollo awaits to be reawakened to the soul who will be able to channel this energy once again. The tripod that existed within the delta is one that is which is still active in the etheric. It has not connected to a voice that has brought through the ancient ones since before the coming of the great Master Jesus. The drought has been effective. Now we await to hear the cries of the highest as they provide the opportunity to bring through the messages from the Grecian triumph as well as the Egyptian one. The connection between these great civilizations is not as clear in your written documents as it is in the master plan for the universe. These two great worlds took the best of both worlds and melted them into the directions of seen and unseen. For the earth's progression, it is necessary to understand both directions and gifts that they bring. So they both bring gifts. In Greece, the ancient ones used power from the fifth dimension to manifest the physical worlds as you know them to be in. In Egypt, the great ones took the powers of the fifth dimension and higher and mastered the connections to the hidden worlds and the link to the higher selves. In your world and the new golden age approaching, it is the duty of the star children to walk the paths of both worlds. Whoa. And to link the higher selves with the physical world through the dimensions of the soul and the inner worlds. Know this to be true. Wow. Your journey to Greece will awaken manifestation powers that you have longed to understand. I came home from that trip and I literally manifested $1 million home sitting on the side of a mountain with $1 million view. I was a multi-producer real estate agent. I was living large. We owned a motorsports dealership. We were sponsoring Supercross for 5 years. My family had a TV show. It was off the hook. And then initiation. Do you want to live of the world and be of the world? Or do you want to just learn what it's really like to be in the world and not of it? And then all of it was removed. Every single bit of it. So, freedom. Yeah. So, it will also provide you an opportunity to speak to Apollo, should you choose to take advantage of this opportunity while in Delphi. Take this message seriously and follow the commandments with a great dignity and duty. When I was in Delphi, I did the walk, and it's quite a walk to get to the temple, the Oracle of Delphi. You climb a mountain in essence. So, and as I was hiking, it's so amazing because there's these little tiny steps, little tiny stairs. The stairs are only about 3 inches tall, and that's because of the monks. Many of them are very old, and they cannot lift their legs very high. And they make these journeys until almost, they're dead. So they make this journey many, many, many times throughout their life. So the stairs are meant to accommodate for the elder monks and priests, for them to take the journey to the Oracle of Delphi. And while I was walking up, and I passed some monks, and I just, nodded and bowed and went on my way. And I was up there for quite a while and connecting to the energies and getting all this information. And there's a fountain. And I had purchased a cross. It was called a New Age cross. And I purchased this in 1992. And when I was in Greece. And it was literally called a New Age cross. And it literally looked like an ascending soul to me. And that was why I purchased it. And it's one of the only crosses I wear on a consistent basis. You guys have seen it. I'll show it to you on the next video. I'll go get it. But I baptized that cross in the Oracle fountain of the Temple of Delphi. And I was baptizing my cross to hold this frequency in the water and the land and the memories and all of it. And I was doing that. And the monks literally, they got up the hill when I was doing this. And they were literally watching me for a little while, I guess. And they walked up to me and they approached me. And they were like, "You do truly understand the gift of Delphi, do you not?" And I was like, "I am definitely beginning to see it." And they smiled. And I smiled back. And they just bowed. And I bowed. And they walked away. It was just crazy. I was like, okay. So Greece rocked me. So and it's amazing. So the Temple of Delphi. Take the advantage of this opportunity while in Delphi and take this message seriously and follow the commandments with great dignity and duty. Approach the point of power where the Oracle of Delphi was the voice of the ancient ones with much deep respect. Call upon the voice of the sirens to hear the calling of Apollo beckon to the Great One to come with the softness and surrender to that point of power. Allow the energy of the Grecian oracle to sit beside you in a meditative state. Request that the code for the future be brought to your consciousness. Request that the code for the future be brought to your consciousness. If you should do this, the code shall be delivered. If you should do this, no, you automatically assume the responsibility to be a messenger for Apollo. Do not take this assignment lightly, dearest commanders. Few have been asked to be the voice of the Greece and the gifts that it brought to the world. There are many hidden secrets from this esoteric, etheric world, just as there are many in Egypt. Know that the voice of the great ones will guide you on your path, and do not fear. By the time you travel to Egypt, the energies of the planet will have been raised to a level not ever seen before upon the planet. Only this condition will allow for the greater communications described earlier to flow. This was not possible before this time. The frequencies of the children of light were not strong enough to receive the higher voice of God. All is quickly changing within the next 45 days. Learn of the benefits of the days and the months to come. There are many gifts for you as you continue to bring these words through for others. We hope that you will soon see the benefits and will move to dedicate more of your time to bring through the messages for the world. Good night, Commander. In the name of the Radiant One, I say good health also, for it is coming to you soon. It is I, Kuthumi, bidding you a pleasant evening. Adonai. The message served to increase the anxiety and the anticipation of the group. Suspense kept building, creating additional concerns. One evening, a group member called to say that she had heard that it was dangerous to meditate in the king's chamber overnight, something that the group had contemplated doing. Not knowing how to respond to this, or if it was even true, they decided to contact Kuthumi for some great guidance on this matter. The answer was a surprise. So many of Kuthumi's responses are, and here is what he said. July 29th, 1990. Kuthumi, please surround me with love and light and send through another transmission. One of the group members have stated that she heard it can be dangerous to meditate in the king's chamber. Is this so? Greetings, O daughter of light. I am here with you this evening to answer your important question. I will begin with a parable that may sound so familiar on another level of reality. In a land far away, there once lived an old man who took great pride in using his mental energies to manifest anything his heart desired. He focused on his desires for the day, and with great dedication moved the forces of nature to provide whatever gave him comfort and glory. He used his power to secure that which only benefited himself, and he cared little for the masses. In the course of his days, he became very lonely, for his friends became tired of his selfishness. They gave him little comfort because he took many problems and concerns of his greed to them. They also felt little sympathy for his dilemma. In short, he did not receive, for he did not give. When it came time for him to die, he passed on the other dimension of reality. He looked back on his lifetime and he wondered what he would have done differently if he had not been given this power. In his final analysis, he decided that what he should have done was to use the power for others and not for himself. If he had done that, all would have been returned to him in a myriad and manifold returns. But he did not understand that when he was in his flesh. Although he understood this lesson on the Akashic record level, he knew that it would take many lifetimes to understand the full intent of its meaning and its rewards. Therefore, he decided to take a journey in the next lifetime in Egypt, which would give him the opportunity to learn. In his next embodiment, as a fair woman, his soul visited the Great Pyramid to allow the power to unfold once again. To her amazement, she found that the power did not unfold at the level her soul remembered. She experienced a struggle from within and discovered a blockage that which she wished to reclaim as her heritage. When she entered the king's chamber, she was brought back into such a loneliness and a despair that she could not recover from the experience. She found that her memory of the former lifetime was so strong that it allowed all the memories to surface and be experienced once again. This is the secret of the king's chamber. Entering this area provides a powerful moment, but especially for those who come prepared. If you enter this area surrounded with negative thoughts from the past, the magnitude of this energy is bound to fulfill all the experiences tenfold. This can cause problems that are difficult to recover from. The chambers contain one of the most powerful vortexes of energy available to humans upon Earth. If one knows this and is awakened, one is certainly to know how to protect oneself. If you go thinking of futuristic thoughts and focusing on God and enlightenment, that will certainly be yours. The experience then will accelerate your path. If the thoughts within your own hidden chambers are reliving former unpleasant dreams, then these will consume you. The protection is the light. It is as simple as that. You need not fear anything. No, only that what you focus your thoughts on is what you will manifest. Intently and quickly. Experience the entire trip, from Aswan to the pyramids, as though you were reliving the most delightful time of your life. Remember the ancient mysteries and the truths. Recall the peace and the glory that was once yours. Hear the inner voices of wisdom that guide and salute your return. Then, enter the kingdom's chamber with the full presence of your higher selves and request that the transformation occur to your higher selves and your mission. This will be our promise and delight. Thank you for following me this. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity to explain this to you. Go in peace, dear one. I am Kathumi Adonai. Okay. Well, I think we will pick up with that. And it says shortly after that, things seemed to kick up in the Middle East. While the war did not actually begin until 6 months later, the thought of going to Egypt during the intensification in the conflict, Rudy and I were like, wow, the challenges and the tests of faith. Suddenly, their earlier fascination with the journey had taken on another significance. Friends knew nothing of the messages, and they were urging them not to go. Some were suggesting that they wait and play it safe, postpone the trip until the conditions settled down. They were scheduled to leave near the end of August, and the conflict was intensifying daily. They asked for guidance in one final message, and Kathumi sent the following words just prior to their leaving. And I will pick up there on the next time with August 23rd. So, I love you guys. I think this is profound. It's really awakening so many beautiful memories in me and vibrations and frequencies. And this is the key to unlock the power of your codes in your divinity through the unlocking of your DNA in your tree. So, I love you all. We will see you on the next one. Have a beautiful day or night wherever you may be. And namaste. Bye-bye.